Welcome to the Cruise Retreat Podcast. Hi, I'm Rita Perez, and I'm a travel advisor specializing in, you guessed it, cruise ship retreats. This podcast is for service-based entrepreneurs and corporate decision makers to learn more about staying everyone's favorite company with a cruise ship retreat. Ready to increase your client or employee retention? Listen in on this week's show. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. Thank you so much again for joining me today. I have a quick couple of minutes because I'm actually sailing. If you have not been following me on my Instagram stories or even on my LinkedIn, I have been sailing the past week and a half, I'd say. I did 4 nights on the beautiful, drop-dead gorgeous MSC Divina, and I'm currently doing 7 nights aboard the new Carnival Mardi Gras. This has been a super treat for me to be able to be sailing almost back-to-back on 2 different ships, and one just altogether to be sailing back on the oceans. I have just ordered room service to have a little late night delivery, so while I'm in between sessions, I guess right now, I wanted to come on here and just let you know how amazing it has been to be cruising again and give you some comparisons that I've been noticing between sailing the 2 lines, MSC Cruises and Carnival Cruise Lines, and specifically their 2 ships that I've been on, the MSC Divina and the Carnival Mardi Gras. Now, it's a little like comparing apples and oranges in somewhat of a sense, but not really also. Sailing on the MSC ship was actually my first sailing on MSC Cruises. And I have clients that absolutely love sailing with MSC. And so it was really nice to get a little bit more of like insider perspective. One of the things that I immediately got giddy about was the lack of people on board. The ship's capacity was less than 20% full, which was amazing, which coming on the Carnival Mardi Gras, I'm so missing because this ship is about 60 to 75% capacity. So I'm like, take me back to a less busy ship where I would say I got more personal service from the crew. The crew on both ships has been amazing. I cannot say enough good things about the crew members, and that's usually the sentiment that I get feeling when I am cruising pretty much on any ship, but it has just been so nice and heartwarming to be able to interact with them again on these ocean ships. Now, I will say that I think the passengers here on the Carnival Mardi Gras are much friendlier than the passengers over on the MSC Divina. I am actually sitting solo on the Mardi Gras, but I sat with other passengers on the Divina, and they were amazing table mates. But they were probably the only other friendly. Oh, there was another couple that it was just me and them in the dining room for lunch one day, and they were super friendly. But there were a lot of like rude, nasty, entitled people. I was here in Cozumel today. I was meeting some friends who were sailing on Royal Caribbean, and saying that just a lot of people not friendly to the cruise specifically and expecting a lot of things, and it's kind of like, hold your horses, and you need to realize how much privilege that you have, that you are able to start going on vacation. One, that you're healthy enough to go on vacation. That's a whole other story. But 2, that you have the means to go on vacation, that obviously you weren't that affected or as affected as other people have been in this pandemic, because if you didn't know, there are still some people who are waiting to go back to work, being called from the jobs that they love to go back to work. So I say this jokingly, but I wish sometimes that we could go back to that March 2020 time, because 1, the creativity was just amazing that came out, but 2, just the heart that we all had together. It's kind of like the same sentiment of what happened in the United States on September 12th, 2001. That feeling that we're all in this together. We're gonna make this out together, and that it was really a group effort and community growth and all that. And then to come on board and you want to treat people like crap because they're serving you, no. That just doesn't fly with me. So I was not liking that, but I am happy that the passengers here on the Mardi Gras are not like that. And that's a very clear sign, too, of the differences of the clientele that visit the ships. So MSC, I would say I actually relate a little bit more to the MSC clientele. Just very relaxed, not party all the time, likes to have fun, but a different kind of fun. Where Carnival is definitely that party. So here's some like big distinct differences. The casino was empty on MSC. The casino is full on Mardi Gras. The bars were empty on MSC. The bars are full on Mardi Gras. So it is just so hilarious. I did notice that as I was going around the ship, I would say there were a lot of white hairs that were on MSC, which that's totally fine to me because I'm very low-key, chill, laid back. While here, there's tons of different groups. So birthday groups, people celebrating anniversaries, lots of family groups on board here. You get everybody like with the special shirts, custom shirts that have been made, lots of decorations on cabin doors. It's just really nice to see people going out there and celebrating and having fun on the ships, even if it's a different kind of fun that I like to have myself. Meeting space is a big one to me, and there were just so many beautiful, gorgeous spaces. I hope to be putting up some photos soon and some videos soon, so stay tuned to that. On the MSC Divina, I really loved the beauty of that ship. Where I would have to say the biggest downfall of that ship for me personally is in the food and beverage. I did not think it was on par with the type of service offered and the beauty of the ship, and also severely lacking for someone like me who has special dietary needs. Was I able to get by? Yes, but it was kind of like slim pickings and you had to be very picky choosing. Whereas I was super excited to head on to Carnival because I knew that they were on top of their game. So when I head up to the buffet area, they go ahead and make sure like, hey, this is gluten-free, this is vegetarian, or this is vegan. Like everything is very out in the open as to what it is and not keeping you guessing. In the dining room, they have been so amazing taking my order the night before. But this also happened on MSC, where they take your order the night before so that they can make sure to prep it or modify it however it's needed the next day of sailing. So yeah, Mardi Gras food has been amazing. I don't think there's anything that I have not liked so much. I feel like maybe today's meal may have been like my least favorite, but there were different parts that I just love so much. And there's so much to choose, like so many places to eat here. I think maybe that's probably a little bit of what was lacking on the MSC Divina, is that there weren't as many places to eat. Now I will say, as far as like capacity, so the MSC Divina can hold approximately 4,500 passengers, where here on the Carnival Mardi Gras, it can hold approximately 6,500 passengers. So tons more spaces to eat here on the Mardi Gras compared to the MSC Divina, but they make up. There's a lot of stuff to do. Like I have been here already 3 nights and I have not even seen everything. I would say half. I was going to say half, but no, I have seen half of the ship. I think I've seen 75% of the ship. So I'm anxiously awaiting when we are in port tomorrow and I can take some exclusive videos and photos without having too many people in there. Oh my goodness. Going back to MSC, they have, again, the most drop-dead gorgeous private island that I have seen in a cruise line in a very long time. Now, I do have to disclaimer this, that I have been on Perfect Day at Coco Cay, Royal Caribbean's private island, before all the upgrades happened. So I can't say like currently that I can like totally, I guess, compare it. Their Labadee, heck yes, I would say compared to Labadee, the MSC Ocean Key is better. And I would even say comparing to Disney Cruise Line's Castaway Key, MSC Ocean Key Marine Reserve is better. Now, maybe over time I will choose to say differently, but that is my stance now. It is just beautiful, new, spotless, and there weren't as many people as there probably should have been, which probably contributed to why I loved it so much. Now, I would say there is a big difference in activity as well. So I love nighttime shows, and I'm kind of missing also some of the funny shows. I haven't really seen too many, like the Newlywed Game or things like that on either ship. I would have to say their Broadway style performances have been really great on both ships, and I have appreciated that. Let's head over to the cabins, and I definitely feel much more comfortable in the Mardi Gras because, of course, she's a brand new ship. She's only, I guess, technically 3 or 4 months old upon this podcast coming out. Beautifully appointed. I love the color scheme. It is very stone, tan, white, teals, turquoise colors, whereas the MSC Divina was very dark. And normally I do like the dark colors, but there were a couple things that were a little bit dated, especially the couch. There were a couple of stains and I didn't feel really comfortable, and I love normally cozying up on the couch. Couldn't do that on the Divina. I also did not like the bed. The bed was not, and I'm not saying that the Mardi Gras bed is too stellar either, but it's a little bit more comfortable and more cozy. And I do like the setup of the cabin here as well. But really not a big give or take. My friends and I were talking on Cozumel, get me on any ship, we don't care which ship it is. So yes, there's pros and cons to everything, but the biggest pro of them all that kind of outweighs all the cons is that we are sailing again and sailing safely, which at the end of this podcast, let's go ahead and start talking about the different protocols. I will say hands down, I think being on the MSC cruises is much safer than being here on Carnival Cruise Line. And I say that because I could smell disinfectant, like a natural disinfectant, so that they were, and I haven't really smelled anything. So it could be that maybe they just use a different disinfectant, but I could tell that things were cleaner on sailing with MSC versus sailing on Carnival. More people are being very lax with their mask usage on Carnival versus MSC. MSC, they served you at the buffet, whereas you serve yourself, which that was very odd for me in Carnival, especially with germs and COVID times. Now, to get on the ship, we had to be vaccinated. Of course, the only exception to that rule is the kiddos who cannot be vaccinated. And you did have to get a negative COVID test 2 days prior to sailing. So should I be too concerned? Probably not. But we are also visiting different places. So as time kind of goes on, there's more possibility that something could happen if anything was going to happen. I know that on MSC they were also doing temperature checks, which I have not noticed that they've been doing that, if they have, here on Carnival. So I have been spending a lot of time, especially because I feel like there's so many people on this ship. So like I said, Mardi Gras has the capacity for 6,500 passengers, and I've been hearing that right now there's about 4,300 passengers. So that is a lot compared to the 800 passengers that I was sailing with on the MSC Divina. So for that reason, as well as I don't really feel like my style of entertainment, yes, they have some Broadway style shows, but then after that it's kind of a lot of live bands at the bars and all that, and that's just not really my scene. So I come back to my cabin, put on the TV, play on my phone. This is also a workcation, so I guess I shouldn't be complaining too much, but I really right now I'm looking forward to being able to sail on Royal Caribbean, which is probably going to happen in January, And I would love to also sneak in a Norwegian cruise, who I know from my friends' experiences throughout the Caribbean, they are being more like MSC, more stringent on different rules and protocols on board. And I know because Norwegian was a big proponent for safety as well, that they are probably going to be a safer option than Carnival is. So if you are okay with lax rules, then Carnival is probably going to be your choice. You're probably going to like them, sailing on them a lot more than some of the other lines. Things can happen on whichever line, and it really is, I know that I overheard some people saying like, oh, the mask police. I am not the mask police. Like, you do whatever you want to do, but I need to do what I need to do to keep myself safe. I am so appreciating having balconies so that I can go ahead and walk out, because those pool areas are bananas. But I think I've covered a little bit of everything, talking about the food, safety protocols, the rooms, the shows, the different kind of like feel on board. I am hoping to experience a lot more of the food and beverage venues here on the Mardi Gras, because there's so dang much here. So let me know, what questions do you have? And what would you like to know more of? Would you like to know more insights of how I really feel? I do have some videos coming up that will be heading onto my YouTube channel. If you want to check that out, I'll go ahead and I will add the link to the show notes so that you can stay tuned on the latest happenings. And make sure to follow me on Instagram, because you get immediate musings that are coming off the top of my head as I am sailing. Have a wonderful week, and I will catch you here next week. Thank you for joining me on the Cruise Retreat podcast. Please subscribe and leave the show a rating on your favorite podcast platform. And don't forget to take a look at the show notes for important information and links. See you next week.